While relieving himself, the man noticed something strange. A rock in the distance was glistening. He walked over, wiped the sand off the rock, glanced at his companion in the distance, and after a moment of hesitation, realized it might be gold. After some thought, he decided to call his companion over. To test their hypothesis, they took out a lighter and heated the rock. But after burning, the rock remained unchanged. Only then did they realize it was indeed gold. The two men tried to dig out the gold. However, after digging for a long time, they still couldn't reach the bottom of the gold mass, and they came to realize it was a veritable gold mountain. They attempted to pull it out with their hands, but it didn't budge an inch. Next, they tied a rope around the gold and fastened the other end to their pickup truck. The companion started the engine, trying to pull out the gold, but the rope suddenly snapped under the strain. Realizing that night was approaching and fearing they'd become prey to wild beasts, they gathered some firewood to build a campfire. The two sat by the fire, envisioning a future of unimaginable wealth, but soon they were back to reality. The pressing matter was to get the gold out. They planned that one of them would go to town to find an excavator, while the other stayed behind to guard the gold. However, the round trip would take several days. The one staying behind would have to endure the extreme desert environment, fend off wild dogs, and survive with limited food and water. The next morning, they divided the supplies, but the companion, claiming to cool down the truck engine, took most of the water. Before leaving, he handed the man a satellite phone, saying it was their only way to keep in touch. After the companion left, the man covered the gold with sand and made a simple sunshade out of canvas. The next day, while gathering firewood, he chanced upon a crashed airplane. He inspected the wreckage and realized it could be an ideal campsite. Worried about being too far from the gold, he disassembled some parts of the plane and dragged them back to the gold. He used these parts to build a small hut near the gold for himself to rest, but the glaring sunlight and hunger made it difficult for him to rest well. He summoned up his strength, went back to the gold, and chipped off a small piece. Staring at the glittering gold piece, he was torn between giving up or persevering. Just then, the satellite phone rang. It was his companion calling.